What's up? My name is Glue Boy, and whoa, there's another video this week. Wild. I'm gonna keep this going. I'm increasing production. Anyways, we're coming back with a character video on a character I really like, and I think is a really fun time just reading about. A dude by the name of Cypher. Cypher is the most enigmatic man in all of 40k. No one knows his actual identity or what his true motives are. Despite teetering the line of cool and kind of try-hard cringy, listen, I'm a giant Assassin's Creed fanboy. I really like those, but god damn, dude. He really teeters that line. He was written by a teenager, but on the other hand is actually really fucking cool. Cypher is essentially the main representative of the Fallen. And the Fallen I talked about before in my Dark Angels video. They are those who, way back in the day, at the end of the Horus Heresy, betrayed Lionel Johnson with Luther. And during this whole final battle with Luther and the Lion, where Luther mortally wounded the Lion, and Luther realized, oh, I fucked up bad, and fully kicked off all the chaos corruption he had. The Chaos Gods throwing a temper tantrum that yet another champion just kind of got ripped away from them. Made a warp storm manifest in real space and whisked away all of the traitors for the Dark Angels and tossed them all throughout space and time, which, is the Fallen. And I don't think I can really make a video on the Fallen themselves, as they're all kind of doing their own thing. Some Fallen are still really salty at the Imperium and fight just to kill Imperium and all that. Some also pop out thinking oh, it's still, the 31st millennium. And they go right back to business as usual, not realizing, it's the 41st millennium now, or 42nd. While some are actually, sorry for what they did, they regret their actions, and go off to be, just mercenaries working for, rogue traders or whoever's going to pay them, or even, taking off their power armor and trying to live normal lives. But then we get Cypher. And, like I said, no one really knows who Cypher is. There's a lot of theories, back in the day of old Caliban, there was actually a position of Lord Cypher. And there was a character in the Horus Heresy who took up that rank of Lord Cypher. There's kind of proof, and not really, that same character is current Cypher. As well, it could just be a whole horde of people calling themselves Cypher. But on the other hand, I don't think one giant group of people could be as competent as the person who's made out to be. But that doesn't stop, because Cypher is at a lot of places, or someone straight up actually kills Cypher and he reappears later. It's shit like that. It's intentionally weird and just confusing. And Cypher is incredibly tricky to get your hands on him, as whenever he's captured, he usually escapes relatively quickly. And also, just when he goes someplace, he has this ability almost to convince people to work with him, as he gets a lot of weird allies that will fight for Cypher. When, Dark Angels are chasing after him, suddenly this planet has a giant cultist mob that's attacking them because Cypher kind of wove some stuff there and left. And there's another thing I really like. There's a possibility that Cypher might not be causing a lot of the problems he, is there for, that he might actually be some sort of harbinger of horrible events. Kind of like a dual-wielding, Mothman-esque. Is he causing these problems, or is he there because the problem's happening? Stuff like that. But Cypher is also, one of the only Fallen I can say is, actually doing something. As he has a really fun, list of notable sightings, both in the Warhammer Wiki and in 1D4chan, that I both recommend reading through. He's done a lot of weird stuff. But a personal favorite of mine is the time he rescued Robute Gilliman. Robute Gilliman got his ass beat by Kairos Fateweaver, the head chicken in charge of whole Tzeentch's bullshit, and captured him, put him in a Blackstone fortress, and Robute Gilliman was given to the Red Corsair Space Marine, offshoot legion. And when he was in prison there, Cypher kind of showed up with a Harlequin Solitaire, another bag of worms I'll get into later, at some other video, because he made friends with a Solitaire. Harlequin Solitaire, there's a lot there to unpack. But Cypher said, hey, I'll break you out, Bobby G, if you do me a little favor. And Gilliman was like, all right, what's the favor? He's I need you to show me to the Emperor's throne room. And Gilliman was like, sure, man, just break me out. And to be fair, if you're gonna have anyone break you out of prison, it's Cypher. The dude is like, that's like his like top skill. And yeah, he did it easily. So Gillen brought him back to Terra, but he did not bring him to the throne room, as he had some eyes on the sword that Cypher had, which I'll get into in a bit. But he was like, I have no clue what you're planning to do with the Emperor. Custodes, throw him in prison. And in the story where that happens, within the same paragraph, Cypher is already broken out of a custodian prison. The things that contain horrible monstrosities or relics that could destroy, like, star systems. He got out really quickly. And now he's being chased by fucking custodians, and he's evading them. Crazy shit. And a big thing, too, is that is one of Cypher's, like, goals, is he's trying to get to the throne room. And no one knows why. There's a few theories. There's a theory that he's going to kill the Emperor. Like, obviously, if you're going to be evil, do that. Or that he could be also, like, trying to give repentance for the Dark Angel's actions way back in the day. Because the sword on his back. Now, there are some theories of what this sword is. And I think most of them are bullshit. Except for one. The sword on his back is the Lion's Sword. The sword wielded by Lionel Johnson that mysteriously disappeared one day and that he fucking has. And, like, there's some debate for this, but, like, those swords are the same. They're the same fucking sword. I don't see how there's any debate. And that's part of the theory that I kind of lean into, that I think Cypher might be trying to atone for the Dark Angel's actions and presenting, you know, the betrayal of Luther and, like, the whole Unforgiven aspect to the Emperor. And the inner circle of the Dark Angels don't really want this to happen. I think there's a few that do believe Cypher's trying to do this. But there is a lot more that can be talked about, about Cypher. And one day I will do that. The problem is it's in a lot of books. Because there's some business of Cypher hanging out with the inner circle of the Dark Angels. You know, the ones trying to fucking hunt him. Some deal that apparently he's been imprisoned multiple times, and each time the chapter master of the Dark Angels pardons him and lets him go. Also, some business that, like, time travel's involved with the fall of Caliban. I don't know. There's a lot. And a lot that I will read about at some point once I start reading a bunch of Dark Angels books. I have a feeling once I start, I'm going to binge all of them. So I'm saving that for a moment when I have the time. So, I don't know, expect a part 2 on Cypher at some point. But, you know, at the end of the day, Cypher, pretty cool guy. I really like this character. I like just him going around, fucking with people, and just general. I like characters that are kind of trollish in nature, that go around and have some greater schemes, but a lot of those schemes rely on just fucking over other groups. And, I don't know, I think there's a lot of fun theories and stuff you can give about Cypher. I mean, as well, his model's pretty dope, and hey, he's actually playable now on the tabletop. He used to not be. He used to be fucking atrocious. But now he's got some fun rules. I like some of his goofy rules that if he dies, he doesn't actually die, he just leaves. That about wraps it up. Nice little short character video this week. I am going to be making 2 videos a week now. Anyways, that's about it. Like, subscribe, ring that bell, do all the YouTube things. See ya.